Hello, everyone. Once again, thank you for joining my stream. This is Filip, and I'm going to tackle game development with my project e-gamebook, which is like a dungeon master in your pocket. It is, let's see if I still can do this. Yeah. Here's the homepage, and this is basically a game which you can play. Oh no! Again, I did this before. Yeah, I was hearing myself. Sorry. All right. So this is the game. It's basically a simulation at the lower level, but for the player, it is displayed as text, right? So how I sometimes describe it is like Skyrim rendered in text. It's the same kind of simulation, in some ways more complex than Skyrim, in some ways less complex than Skyrim, but instead of showing you video, we show you text. It's not a simple choose your own adventure kind of thing, because most of the stuff that I have here is not something I wrote myself, right? So in the past, we were looking at game logic, and this is mostly what I want to do in these videos, because I'm still at the time where most of the work should go into the logic of the game itself, but I have a project for today that involves UI. And here's the big caveat to this. I'm not sure if my computer is fast enough to stream and run the IDE and also run the simulator here and everything else, right? So it is possible that at some point I will be like, oh my god, this is terrible, something's buffering or whatever. Just, tell me through chat. By the way, hi chat, hi Vanathos. You won't be seeing the whole stream, no problem. Thanks for Vanathos is here every day, so every week. So you've done your part. It's good, and thanks for joining again. Okay, so we have this. So you know what? First of all, the first prototype, and actually the first prototype looked like this, in which you say what you want to do, and then immediately after you do it, you get basically the whole text. This text takes some time to actually render, as I call it, but it's still, in terms of human perception, it's still immediate. So it just shows you the text, and that's it, right? Even though this is like many actions one after each other. This is you can imagine when you're talking to a dungeon master, he will be like, oh, you do this, and then he runs some math, and then he's like, oh, both of you fall on the rock floor, and this is blah 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 blah, right? So that's cool, but I have some pretty experienced people in the in the industry of showing things like of doing text games for mobile, especially, who are telling me, and I believe them, and I've seen this myself, is that when you show any amount of long text and the person is expecting some kind of interaction, they will just skip the text. And so it's much better, and it works in video games all the time, when you can just reveal the text on press, right? So I'm sorry, I need to check the. Hey, Vivek Kumar. Hey, hello. Yes, and please, my computer is actually now stopped going to space. I don't know if you heard it, but it was now it's kind of calmed down, so I think my computer is fine. Thank you. I think Vanathos, it made all the difference. Your respects to my computer. if you're watching this after the fact, you won't see the chat, and I'm sorry, this doesn't make any sense. So probably I should go back to what I was explaining. Anyway, so in many computer games, if you have text, you will at some point be like kind of clicking through it, and it will be appearing for you, right? So if you imagine any Japanese RPG or basically anything that has text in it on console, you will show it one by one, and that kind of makes sense in that medium. This game is more about reading, so we can't really have, we can't have these like little boxes that show for each sentence. That kind of doesn't make sense. But I thought in a next prototype, instead of just showing everything at once, I will let the player kind of click through the paragraph, so the text will appear to them. And this is just one way to do it, and I'll see. I have people who playtest these things for me. I obviously playtest this a lot myself, and we'll see if this works for this particular thing. I feel like it should, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. But I think like it should be pretty cool. And actually, I've already started this. So okay, so here we go. This is the old one where whenever you click something, it immediately shows everything, and that makes sense. And we can do it because we're fast enough to show it. But again, for a player, maybe it seems like, oh, everything is immediately there. That seems weird. And also, I want to skip it and go right to the meat of the things. And we don't want people to skip, because actually, even though it looks like it's just text, it's actually like this is the whole game. And if you miss some detail, you might get killed. So, okay. All right, so what we have here is the game in its natural habitat. Some of you know that I'm actually using a different way to play it in the command line, but let's not go through that when I'm testing. But this is like the very first prototype of the game interface, right? Don't think that this is the actual thing. But yeah, this is what I work with. And so I have it so that now you have this button here, again, very prototypey, don't worry. And this is basically our like X button on PlayStation or A button on Nintendo, where you like go forward, right? And it's not implemented yet, so you'll see the big bug that I have here. So let's go from scratch. So if you start the game, it shows this, and you see the little animation that I have here, which is kind of right now my main way of showing text. Okay, I'll start. This is terrible. Playtest with a goblin. And now, okay, so now you have to imagine this is not here yet. That's what we'll be fixing today. And you only have this. And it kind of scrolls as you reveal the text. So you get transported to the development testing arena. This is a development-only test flight. If you still see this in this is actually just a goblin stands in front of between the two playing dagger, and here you kind of go forward. So let's do something that makes sense. I can like take the dagger from the ground. The goblin tries to ruin my stance with a feinted jab, right? So if you imagine that this is not here, it already kind of makes kind of sense, right? So this makes sense. I'm gonna stab his eye. La la la, I completely fail, and that's fine. Huh. Why is it not showing the first sentence? Okay, that's a bug. I thrusted the goblin's eye, the goblin leaps back, my dagger cuts empty air. The goblin casts a spear at me. Now we would show the actual thing, right? Oh, yeah, catch the spear as it flies towards me. That's my favorite thing to do in this game. Yep. Huh, we have a little bug here. I catch the spear in the air. Cool. So yeah, so that's what we have. Someone wants dark theme in WebStorm. I have, like, I've said this before, but basically what I have is WebStorm has dark theme, Android Studio has white theme. Brian, because for some reason, this is probably stupid, but like I like my front end, in which case this is the UI, and my backend to be completely different. So I can immediately know where I am, right? And I switch between those. You'll see this today. I'll switch between those, and it's kind of, and I don't care about the white theme. I know a lot of people are very like, oh my god, I can't look at the white theme. I don't care, so I'm sorry. I will, if it bothers too many people too much, I will switch everything to a black theme, which I slightly prefer, but it doesn't really matter that much to me. Cool. So we have that weird bug. Let's first address the bug with I think what I see here is that if I just wait, yeah, it will immediately start the next sentence. But if I do something with what I call it, slot machine. So I want to stab his torso, right? Huh, that's weird. I thought it would not appear. So what I'm trying to do, there's a little bit of logic here in which by default, when something appears, so there's paragraphs of text, right? That those paragraphs of text are like pre-computed, so we know how much we should scroll. And when you show the paragraph of text, you show it by sentence. And I have a little, well, it's not really logic, it's just one line of logic that says, as you show a paragraph and there is no other paragraph that we're trying to show, then put the first sentence there. So we don't need to, like, after we make a choice, we don't want to also click to reveal the first sentence. We want to reveal the first sentence right after the choice is made or the slot machine is run. So here it works fine. Okay, we won. All right. So let's try it again. Let's try to, are we in debug mode? Yep. Yeah. You know what? I'll try to kind of break it. So I'll confuse the goblin. See? Okay. This is weird. Oh, is it because I didn't? Yeah, I should at some point say, like, show everything. Okay. Brian is like, it doesn't bother me. I just remember your last stream. Okay. Yes. Let me comment what I have right now, because I don't wanna because we'll experiment a little bit. So what I have right now is work in progress, appearing text, something. Is this what I did? The last thing that I did? No, actually, I did this before. So no, this was fix bug with wrong hash codes. This is, yeah. All right. So now it looks like we want to make sure that everything is shown at some point. So once the person, for example, if I do catch, well, actually, do we need to? Because we are working on this change, which will not show anything, any choice or slot machine, until we have shown all the text, which means that we can totally just ignore this problem for now. I love that. I loved ignoring problems. Let's do the other thing, which is actually harder. So I think I have had it implemented before, but let's switch to WebStorm. So in the backend, we have this abstract class presenter, which is basically you can implement this class to be like your front end, your UI, right? I have two different presenters. One of them is what you see here. This is the game in the. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to do two things at once, but I also need to make sure that you actually see everything. Yeah. Okay. So one presenter is this, and the other presenter, some of you know from previously. That's the. If I go to chat and do so this is another presenter, which is just like this debug development presenter, but does exactly the same things, and I can do whatever I want here, and I can cheat and stuff. So so that's just an abstraction. And right now, what we do is like the book. So we have book and presenter. Book is where the magic is. That's where all of the combat system and all of the tags and all of the everything else director that we implemented before, that's where everything lives. And book is kind of like this thing that sits and takes input from a remote player. In our case, it's not that remote, but like it could be remote, and it will make sure that stuff happens in the simulation, and as the simulation kind of renders things in text and in other things, it will send those things, that mostly the text and the choices and the slot machines, to the player, to the presenter, and the presenter will show them to the player. So we have this kind of, again, abstraction. And right now, the book will just be like, add a text element, and immediately that returns back to it, and it will just do everything until it gets yeah, wow. I just realized I don't need to do this maybe here. Okay, see, this is why it's good to talk about stuff, and I wish I did this more often than just on the live stream. Okay, and it must be super frustrating for you. So because you don't see into my head, but Okay, right now book will just like throw text until it throws something that is actionable by the player, and which is a choice. And once it throws a choice, then it waits, and it waits until the presenter gives it back the what the player did, right? And so I thought, okay, you know what, the presenter or the book would actually maybe have like instead of void add element, like for example add text, instead of void add text, it would be future add text, and then the book would have to kind of wait until the player shows the text, or until the presenter tells it, yeah, you can go ahead. But I think it's better, since we're going to run this in an isolate, it's probably better if the book has anything to do still, let it do its thing as long as possible, and just give us the text, and we will slowly show it. And so from the perspective of the book, it doesn't need to care whether we are showing anything or not. It it will just wait when it needs to wait for user input. Cool. So we go back to here. We go back to our UI code, and what we do here, and this is probably not great code, but I'm not sure if I want to refactor now. The spark that I had like 2 minutes ago is that I might want to just be like, oh, keep the book working, but before showing the choice block, which is what we're trying to do, make sure that all text is already shown, which is actually pretty simple. Yeah. I think. So we have add choice block, we have add custom element. We can actually be like, at any point, we can schedule this until after the tap ahead is done. So tap ahead is my little thing, which I wrote today. I think that's, or maybe yesterday. Which basically is very simple, kind of either block if you're from that area or whatever. It's a little component of logic that just says, that just lets things know what's happening with the appearing of text, and also work with it. So for example, from the perspective of this button, which shows the next text, it's basically just a way to it's just a way to tap to appear next text, right? And then from the perspective of the text itself, this paragraph, it's like, oh, I wanna damn, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's just like, oh, I want to know, should I be already appearing or not? And I want to tell the tap ahead and everyone else who's listening that I have actually completed showing, right? And so, and we even have like this is done, or is all done, which is true if we don't have any new paragraphs to show. Okay. So this is a lot of explanation, but it's useful for me to look through this. So we have the Flutter runner should now be before showing anything, at least before showing these like actionable things. Okay, before showing actionable things. Oh, maybe not. Maybe the actionable things should. Oh. Good. Yes. So, choice block. So, choice block will actually depend on tap ahead as well. Yes. And, yeah. That makes sense. Okay. So, choice block will be like, I don't have anything for you until tap is done. Huh. That's actually much easier than I thought. So I'm probably missing something. So tap ahead is provider of tap ahead context, provider and tap ahead. And if not tap ahead is done, then return what? Return size box. Oh, value. Okay. Let's see. Playtest. One off this slide. You get transported. Ah, yes. That was so easy. Also, oh, I have a little bug here. Let me see. For example, here I don't have a space, and that was done in the here. Oh man. Okay. So I do this. What? When the exception was on this, what? No element. Right, yeah, so this should throw, that's good. Why is it not? I was almost sure that what? Oh yeah, this is okay. I'm already using it in a way that is not implemented yet. So yeah, right now I still have to kind of, scroll and then choose things. Yes. Okay, so why is there no listeners? yes. Okay. Classic mistake. Yeah, I am actually, I'm not trying to subscribe to tap ahead. I'm trying to subscribe to the value of this. Should that be a provider of itself? Maybe. Maybe, yeah. So I have okay, I will have a change notifier. Right, this is not getting tap ahead is not actually being changed, which is good because otherwise we would be okay. So this is I wonder, can I do this? Multi-provider. Hello, where's the right? Okay. So multi-provider. That doesn't seem right. Oh, okay. So we have a provider of tap ahead itself. No, of Flutter Runner. Who provides tap ahead? Oh, here. Do I need to? Yeah, I need it here. Which means I put the multi-provider in the wrong place, I think. Yeah. No. Okay, so this should be a multi-provider. And providers is tap ahead. I mean, provider of tap ahead. This is us just providing do we have a dispose? Oh. Context. Dispose. We'll add it later. And there's this. Yeah. Why doesn't provider has dispose? Should it? It has a value notifier. Does value notifier has dispose? Maybe not. Change notifier. Oh yeah, it should have dispose. Okay. So void dispose, and then we think that this should be disposed, and this, and this. This is fine, this will get garbage collected, and this is all good. So yes. All right, where were we? So we wanted to create a provider of tap of is done, which is interesting. Tap ahead is done. That's gonna be this is new territory in some cases. So this is a proxy provider actually, and it takes a tap ahead, and it will build context and tap ahead. What's going on here? Oh, it's previous. Let's see, do we have like a proxy provider? Notifier proxy provider. Yeah. Is that it? Oh, it needs an initial builder. I just wanna, maybe I'm overcomplicating this, but I want anyone to be able to subscribe to this, to tap ahead only. I mean, tap ahead dot is done. And I wonder if I just want to, you know what? Is value notifier change notifier? Of course it is. So initial builder, I guess, is context tap ahead. No? Okay, value notifier. Can I type dev this? Type dev, no. Okay, tap ahead. So let's have a class. Tap ahead is done. Extends change notifier or value notifier of bool. false. Actually true. At first, it's all true. I mean that, you know, it's like nothing is being shown, and then later we are like, whenever that changes, we're basically, we say tap ahead is done, right? And of course this needs to be tap ahead is done. Okay. Yeah, so we did like a little bit of gymnastics to get some things to work. But now I can, instead of doing this, I can do tap ahead is done. And is done. And this will hopefully rebuild every time we are done with something. So let's do this. Yes! Ugh. Whew. Okay. Good. All right. Done. Yeah, so coming back to this, I'm sorry, this wasn't very useful and probably not very entertaining kind of YouTube content. But what I was kind of struggling with is we have this bunch of logic that just like all it does is makes sure that the people or the parts of the program that should know about what is being shown in terms of paragraphs can have access to that information. And one of that kind of information, that are we done, like has the player pressed all the buttons, all the has he or she shown all the sentences of all the paragraphs that need to be shown. And there are many ways to do this, like this, and I'm going into like Flutter state management and stuff like this. But one of them is pretty complex. Like we would have to, it's a value notifier, so we would have to add ourselves as listeners to that value notifier. I mean this one, and so on and so forth. Or we can make it into a class in itself, and then we can provide it, which we did here. We provided it, and we provided through something called proxy provider, which is something that takes a provider that is above it and says, I have a different thing now. And that's so once you understand like what this is, and this stream is not about state management in Flutter, but like once you understand, this actually makes a lot more sense. And I think I just missed like every chat for the past 2 hours, it seems like. No, 40 minutes. I've been only 45 minutes online. Wow. Yes, Valenthos is asking about inherited widgets. That's fine. Inherited widgets are fine. Yeah, basically, provider is just sugar on top of inherited widgets, and I don't want to go into too much detail because we could just have a whole stream about that. Do I recommend changing the implementation of provider? Maybe. If you get tired of doing it yourself, then yes. If it's simple, then no. Okay. Someone loves me. That's cool. Yeah. No problem, and you are welcome. Sagar. let's do this. Okay, so one other thing that was bothering me, and now that we have tap ahead, is done, which is probably not the best. I should also document this. Yeah, but I'm really glad that we are actually we actually have this. So a wrapper around or the class of step ahead is done. We are defining a separate class in order to be able to subscribe to it using provider. Okay, and we should also do this. So this is true when all paragraphs have been shown animated in. Oh, la, 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 la. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. We have that. Yeah, what I wanted to do next is we have this terrible floating action button here. Where can you see it? Yes, you can see it. And right now it's just terrible, and we will do something to it so that it's not, it should probably be some big thing that you can press over here. But at least we should prevent this from happening. See, this gives us a nice looking but still annoying assertion error, which is totally correct. The assertion is here, and it's like, why are you tapping? Why are you telling me to show a new paragraph when I have shown all the paragraphs that I already have? Okay, so we could also assert that is done value equals false. So we would now throw two errors, or maybe not. Okay. What did I want to do? Oh yes. So I just wanted to. We have this like little thing here that lets us. Where's the floating action button actually? Floating action button. And we want to actually make sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna create a new kind of show next button or something like that. Tap ahead button is probably better. And that's gonna be a new widget. So tap ahead button. And right now it's gonna be a floating action button, but whoa, tap ahead button. Wow. And it's gonna be a stateless widget, I think. Tap ahead button. And yep. And do this, that we can access it here, but it's gonna be a little more complicated than that. And now tap ahead button. Yep. Nice. hot reload works. And then what we're gonna do is disable or enabled equals, you know what? Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Provider of step ahead is done. Context. Value. If enabled, then yeah, this, and otherwise null. Let's see. Why is it enabled? Excuse me. Oh, the exact opposite of. So it's disabled when everything is done, right? Logic is hard. Disabled. Disabled when everything is shown. And so if disabled, then null, otherwise this. Weird. You should be disabled, man. Oh. I thought. What is going on? Print everyone loves print statement debugging. It's disabled. It looks like it's not. So maybe it's time for us to read the documentation. Maybe we yeah. There's no disabled. Okay, let's read the documentation. I try to avoid it in this, but if the is not, then the button will be disabled. There's probably something idiotic that I'm doing. So if it's disabled, true, then oh, okay. Did you see the problem? Does anybody see the problem? No, I actually you are. I think the stream is buffered for like 10 or 15 seconds at least. So, but such a stupid problem. Okay, such a stupid bug. So see this. What I wanted to do is if it's on pressed, then it's null. Otherwise, this is the function that should be called, right? Instead, I had a function always that either returns null or returns void. So So just this kind of, putting it here obviously is different than putting it here. All right, let's do it again. Why? Oh, okay. Okay, this is just that disabled color should be something as what? Hey, it's disabled, but okay. Okay, good, except it looks terrible. So if we have a color, should we have a color? If it's disabled, then it's colors gray. Otherwise, it's the normal. Gray, wow. What? There's no color? Oh man. Is it foreground color? I don't wanna. I don't actually want to deal with this. Oh, background color. Because this is going away, but yeah, okay, this looks better. Yeah, this looks better. Awesome. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this was actually, as again, it was both harder and easier than I thought. I definitely didn't realize it's gonna be that easy to basically. I thought I would have to go into here and like change everything to futures and stuff like this, but it seems like that's not the problem. So that's cool. We have the floating action button, which looks terrible. That's fine, and then maybe I wanna add padding from button. Yeah, that's better. 64. And this is one of the things that I like about Flutter, is that I can kind of play around with this. What else do we have here? I want to make it larger, but maybe, is there a size? There's a size like that? No. I don't want to. I have problems often with. So that's floating action button. Let's see if I actually have a. Working connection, and I do, so that's cool. And I want to do something like size. Oh, there's just that. Mini or not? Okay, this is very standardized. yeah, this is the default, but it is already default, which is cool. So yeah, I think that's fine. I also wanted to, so no, thank you. And then I wanted to add this functionality to other things as well. So right now we have it here, but that's not the only thing that should not show until we have everything. And that the other thing is, so that's text. Yeah, win game. Win game should wait as well. And that's it, right? So there's another thing, and that's the custom elements. Some of the custom elements can be like, you should update the stat, and we should wait until that element is shown to update the stat. We could add it to the tab ahead things. Yeah, I think that's the best. All right. This should be a different. This should be its own widget. Yeah, but that's fine. And so right now we have that. Choice block, slot machine. Okay. Errors can be that I don't care. A large image element. That should also wait, to be honest. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Build context. Which means that. Yeah, this is, by the way, not the best Flutter code. I'm just trying to get things into a prototype phase as soon as possible. Yeah, the stat element should definitely wait. But it's... Well, I mean, why not? Is that it? Analysis, yeah. Okay. All right. Back to chat. Watching is hard. Yeah, Vanity is saying maybe it would be cool to this if you on the stream you show how a long press can send multiple tap ahead events, and that's exactly great minds think alike. That's exactly what I wanted to do at some point when I have actually not just this floating action button, but anything. I want the player to be able to hold press for it to show everything at once, so that you can still play in this like other way. And I may not like it because I like if people actually read, but you know. Yeah, color null. If you Vanithis is asking why did I add color null here, If it's sorry, child, no, background color. If it's disabled, it's gray, and if it's not disabled, it's null. If you provide floating action button and most other widgets, if you provide them with null, that's like use the default. And in which case, in this case, it's the default is blue, which is weird. I will take care of that. So, but like if you just want to override when you're disabled, like in this case, you would just do that and then provide null otherwise. On press, again, null is good because you can say, I don't actually want this to be pressed at all. And so on. This is also cool because yeah, this could be listen false, but not a big deal. Okay, nice, it's disabled. Oop, what just happened? Oh. Oh no. See what happened? I made this change where large image element is not shown unless we have everything shown, but it doesn't, like, it's right now it was like, oh, we started to not have something shown, so I need to disappear, so it disappeared. So this is not the best thing to do. At some point we will have to kind of wait until these things happen. Yeah, I wonder how to do this. How to best do this. So right now we're like, yeah, you can scroll anywhere and it will just show you the elements of the book. And so I think in the runner we should be actually waiting. Yeah. We should have like waiting elements at some point. That's a good, probably, yes. So we will have a buffer of elements that we want to show still to the player, and some of these things, like for example, add text will wait until things are animated in, and then it will say, yeah, you can go ahead. Okay, it's a stream probably. Okay, yeah, but not now. I mean, this is, I think, good enough for sending it to people to playtest with. Goblin, punch him. Yeah, let's play this a little bit. Punch the goblin in the nose and he staggers off balance. He kicks the rock out of reach. Oh. Okay. Self. No, wait. How can I wait? Why do I wait? What? Dagger, pick up. He kicks the rock off the reach. I pick up the dagger and wield it. I think you should maybe stab his eye. Let's use the stamina. Trusted the goblin's eye. The goblin jumps back, but is too slow. It pierces his left eye, and he screams in pain. He briefly holds his hand over the wound. See how this changes? Since I'm kind of animating each word in, I'm using a little different layout algorithm. It's a little different. I may want to, like in the finished game, I may want to make sure that this is the exact same thing, or at least I will kind of fade in the thing later. Okay. Bleeding body. Let's just throw the dagger at him. I cast the dagger at the goblin, and he tries to dodge, but he's out of balance. The dagger pierces the goblin's right leg. The right leg goes limp. The goblin falls to the ground and grunts in pain. He briefly holds his hand over the wound and rolls. He pulls the dagger out, and it falls onto the cavern floor. See how it reflowed? Let's take the dagger, pick the dagger up, and wield it. That last thing, when it's done, it should just... I have to kind of confirm... Seems like I have to confirm the last... Wait a minute. No, let's not. I want to kick at this weapon. Kick the goblin. The goblin tries to scramble out of reach. See, like, I don't want to have to click this just to show the things. Can I just, excuse me, the spear, pick up the goblin rolls and puts he launches himself at me. Impale. Shift the spear between myself. Yeah, what is it that I wanna make sure that I understand this problem. So yeah, okay, so I don't need to click after a paragraph, but I do have to click before this. Isn't that weird? Once again, I don't need to click to get to the next paragraph. Maybe maybe I like it. Maybe you have to first read the thing. I'll probably keep it. Yeah, I'll keep it for now. All right, back to chat. Oh, damn, I just missed a lot of chat. So on this topic, you can apply simple indie games tactics, have mandatory tags that stop the player from skipping and showing. Yes. So yeah, I could actually force people to read the text, and I don't want to do it because everyone wants to play their way, and also some people are kind of power players and they will want to kind of power through this, and they can scan quickly and stuff like this. But there's like this, so there's always a balance, right? I like the appearing text with the option to like hold button to show it all, because it kind of it slows you down. If you see a lot of text, especially in this environment, you will want to quickly go into some action and kind of skip through it. but if it shows slowly, then it's fine. I liked a recent game. What was it called? Oh, what was it called? It was about like a bird. You were a bird and you were exploring this mountain, and it had quite a lot of text, but the text was always in these like little JRPG boxes which you could click through, and it was just so much fun. And I know that I would not read all the text if it was like read this dialogue. It's funny, you know. It just doesn't work. Um, yeah. Yes. Yeah, basically, yeah. There's definitely speedrunners in text games. You would be surprised. I was surprised, but yeah, people are like, okay, I just want to go to the next thing. Cool. So we have done quite a bit. I think I just wanna. Wow, look at this. Look how slow it is. Wow, that's not normal. We're in debug mode, but just my computer is a little under the water now. I want to continue with UI work, I think. Right, since we're here. Let me commit things. So right, this and up. So what did we do now? We had, oh yeah. So wait with choices until after graphs have been shown. All right. So what else can we do here? Well, we can start the major thing of actually scrolling to the thing where we want to be. Do we want that? It's gonna be major pain. Take dagger. We could also make this nicer so that people aren't like, ugh, this is a prototype, but still. Yeah, I want to make it nicer, at least like to show like, hey, you should probably click this. Do I want the, you know, I want the prototype to be prototype and not like a complete thing, but I also don't want people to think, oh, this is terrible, this doesn't work, give us the previous stuff. So I may want to actually make this a little more complete. Cold coffee. Let me do one little thing. I'm just getting my coffee a little more warm. Yeah, so I think I have two options here. Let me see if you can see me. So I can do a little more with the button as it looks like and so on. or I can play around with scrolling of the whole thing. And the reason I'm not super excited about scrolling the whole thing is that I want to rebuild this. Thank you, coffee machine. I want to rebuild this so that it's right now it's in Flutter jargon. This is all slivers because I wanted this to be there. But I actually, the more I play with this and the more I use it, I think it makes much more sense to have most stuff at the bottom, because that's how you play, right? Like you want to be doing this, and you don't want, actually most of the time you don't want to be scrolling up and down. And I thought that that would be how you play it. Like you scroll a little up and you see, oh, my stamina is 3, and I can click here and show the map or whatever. But for practical reasons, I think it's more achievable to do, or it's just more better UI and UX if you have most things here and this just disappears to the top. So what I thought would be also I'm not showing what I'm playing with. I am really terrible at this, as you can see. So you could be like, this would be what you would see most of the time, just text, right? But here you would have a little bit of like a bottom sheet, and as you would be scrolling, so most of this would be just a list view of things, and as you would be scrolling down, you could obviously make choices, and you could kind of scroll this bottom sheet up and see all the little things, and also this would tell you your stamina and things like that. I think that's probably a little better for the UI. So that's a long way of saying that I don't want to spend too much time kind of playing around the scrolling of the sliver list, which is what you see here. All of this is slivers. This is a sliver. This is a sliver. These all are slivers. So this will go away, and I don't want to spend time working with this. I think it might be the same, but yeah. So you know what? I'll make this nicer. Cool. Some new chat. Yeah, to not having a whole wall of text is good. Although right now when you only show it by sentence, I think that's okay to at the end have a whole wall of text. That to me is okay. Right. The fight is over. Yeah, I like it. I like it right now. So how do we make this still a prototype but a little nicer, this button? And I think that's a nice end of the episode, since we are working with Flutter today. Let's do this. You can see all of this. I have committed everything, and now we can, just because we've we've created this step ahead button, we can work with this. So it probably shouldn't be a floating action button anymore. I really want this to be, since this is a necromancy book, I want this to be a huge kind of a big skull. But I wonder if I should do it already now or later. Would it be more fun now? No, let's not go into that, because yeah, let's just do tap, something that says tap to go ahead or something. Yeah. So return. Let's start with something simple. Add padding with I like the 64 here. Oh, bottom tab. I think where are styles, fonts? I think I like the serif thin. Except I probably want this to be larger. Oh, I don't love this. I don't like this. It could be like a radial. Oh, okay. I kind of like the death thing. Okay, but this is a prototype, so let's do this. Emoji. Death. Skull. Okay, I love it. So yes, that's exactly what this needed. Okay, so I think this should be different colors depending on if it's, yeah. I wonder if I should just, I mean, the still prototype. Okay, let's not go get too excited, but I like this a lot. That's gonna be yeah, I want to prepare myself for the for 32, and this should be 32, and then this is gesture detector, and we have this for on tap. And then file, a static file. The button font is this, so that we don't build it again all the time. And so that's the button font. Okay, and then should we oh, this is weird. Okay, anyway. Should this be in some kind of color? Oh, that's terrible. Blue looks a little bit better. Actually, I have some colors here for the appearing paragraph. Yeah, this should be. Yeah. I mean, I don't love it, but there might be like an implicit animation that makes it disappear. Should it disappear or just get UI is hard. Oh, Vanathos, maybe I missed you, but thanks for being at the on this live stream. Thanks. Oh, and thanks for tweeting the summary. I'm terrible at this, and you're much better. Um, damn, I want to. I want to. Okay. First of all, do you guys see the? You don't see it. Yeah. So this is what I've been working on, and was hiding behind my. Ugh. Oh, and this as well. Okay. It's actually not bad. How do I make it so that it's it kind of stands out? .5 is it gonna be better? Oh no. A little bit better. Yeah, I think it should just disappear. And I have second thoughts about this. This is hard. I just want this to be, you know. Yeah, let's do this. I kind of love the little emoji, but I think it's not great. So now we have a gesture detector which actually works. And then we want to not show this when it's disabled. We can totally have like what do we have? API. Implicitly animated widget. Common implicitly animated widgets. Animated container. Animated opacity. Theme crossfade. Animated size. Animated switcher. Right, I think I want animated crossfade. Animated crossfade. Which will be either animated crossfade. So what do we? So first child. This is the second child. First child is gonna be the same thing. Except tab button from active. Disabled. We can even make it smaller actually. Oh. The color should be something like yeah. Right, and this what? And this lacks crossfade state. Yeah, crossfade state. So if it's disabled, otherwise crossfade state show second. What else do we have? Duration is required. Duration will be const. Duration. I always kind of pick 200 milliseconds, but I'm not sure that's the best one. Wait, why is this? Oh, I think we want this color. Yeah, okay. So start. Why am I actually didn't want to show anything here, I think, right? Yeah. Yeah, I just want to not show this at all. This looks better. You seeing this? Accept failure. Okay. Set that up. Oh, this again. I made a little bit for. Yeah, this should be here. Yeah, I kind of like this. So we have zoom. Okay. Maybe I want to make this into a width of double infinity. Height of 64. Why did maybe I want to put this into a size box with oh yes. Sorry, I just need to go through this and see if yeah, that's better. And I also is there an alignment? Maybe I'll just align here. Ugh. Is this better? Oh. That's not right. Oh. I'm kind of right now we're kind of stepping in the dark to make sure that I thought there's a way to alpha with color and How is there no alignment with this? I forgot how to text align. Oh, it's for text itself. Damn. Okay, so text itself is text align center. Yeah, okay. Okay, so yeah, I think this is better. Tab. The inkwell is way too strong. Highlight, hover, focus, splash factory, radius. What's radius? The radius of the ink splashes grow up to this size. By default, this size is different from the size of the rectangle. Okay, so let's do a small radius for this. Radius maybe like 18. Just tweaking so that it doesn't look like totally like crap. I don't... Maybe I don't want to inkwell. It seems weird. So what's it called? Gesture detector. Yeah. There. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so last thing is the animated crossfade. I think it should have a curve. First curve should be with ease in, start slowly, yeah, and second curves ease out cubic. I did not have to do this anyway. I did not have to restart from scratch. Okay, let's see what it looks like. And okay. Okay, I think that's good enough. Good enough, the best kind of good. Goblin, kick at weapon. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we have that. So what did we do today? we have done nothing in terms of logic of the actual game, which I'm sorry if you're looking at this stream for that. Then next time we'll get back to that, obviously. But this time we were like, okay, how do we make sure this is more works more like a game, and people actually read stuff, and the pacing is nicer. And I think we've done some work on that. I kind of like how it shows up one by one, and it's still, if you look at it afterwards, it still looks like, oh, okay, yeah, this is totally just text. So that's cool, and we also made the tab button a little bit nicer. So before it was just terribly like an app. This is more like a game. Obviously, in the end, this will need to be something more. I mean, I like the simplicity of this, but it will obviously need to be something better. And also, it will need to scroll for you, so you don't need to do it. Yes. Okay. All right. Just making sure this we don't need. And well, thank you for seeing the stream, and I hope this was interesting, even though it wasn't really that much of game development. It was more like UI for this weird game that's mostly text. And the other things that I wanted to look at, and that I will probably look at next week, is necromancy after fight, which is basically, which will get us into the world where we want it to be from the very start, which is we want to be able to go around the simulated world and do everything that we can in combat, to do it also in the real world, the non-combat world. And so then we can kind of play test, okay, is this fun? Is it fun to, do necromancy all around the pyramid, and play around with that. Thanks you for watching again. I think I did it. I said it like 5 times already, but still, thank you, and see you next time, hopefully. And if not, that's okay. I'm not mad at all. All right. Bye. Still here, right?